Everything that I said I was gonna do like 2 years ago, I'm doing it.
So what do you think is, I guess, the number one character trait that you have that allows you to succeed at selling insurance specifically?
Work ethic. If you're gonna do it, give it your all and be okay with failure. Because failure happens every day.
What's the most you've made in a month?
15,000. So every time I left flying, I turned out broke. So I just went back to flying.
92% of life insurance agents fail within the first 12 months. And you know that?
I heard that from Dummer, and I'm sure you know Dummer.
Yeah.
He told me about that like a few months ago when we were on the phone, and I was like, that's crazy.
All right, so we got Z. We'll go by Z, man. Here in the studio, top producer at Limitless Insurance Group, and very highly spoken about because apparently you're living the dream from what a lot of people tell me, brother.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for taking the time to come on, bro.
Thank you.
What we're going to do here, bro, this is going to go up on our Level Up Academy channel. Which is just insurance agents coming on there trying to find some inspiration, wisdom. We could touch one person today and give a little bit of value at least to one person that we did our job today, all right? 100%. So that's our goal. Before we jump into like your insurance journey and all that stuff,
For sure.
walk me through like just very quickly, just upbringing, where were you born and raised, kind of like your background, and then we'll jump right into how you got into insurance.
Okay, cool. So I was born in Broward, Florida, like an hour away, basically.
Okay.
Grew up with my parents. My parents were pretty much divorced when I was 2. And pretty much went back and forth between houses. Was very blessed, had my parents both there. Then pretty much got to like 16, 17. Started to kind of just get into the wrong crowd, sort of. And then pretty much ended up in rehab, basically, for about, I would say, like a month or 2. Got clean, basically. And then after that, ended up to going to moved to Miami, and I started going to LaSalle.
Okay.
And then that's pretty much when like I found Jesus, became mad spiritual, started like getting into more of the faith and everything. And then ever since then, I've been straight on pretty much everything. And then I would say after 18, I started, my dad kind of gave me the option. He's a big blessing. Flight school, because he's a pilot. Or do you want to go ahead and go to college? And personally, I was never the school type of person. So I basically said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and go to flight school because I want money. You know what I mean? Like I wanted a bag. I didn't want to go to sit in a classroom, do nothing. I was going to drop out and I knew it. So I basically started flight school and then that was pretty much that.
So when you said that's a pilot, like is he actively flying?
Yeah, he works for American now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he works for American now.
So you fly for free?
Yeah, I fly for free. That's why I'm going to travel so much. I have 1 more year on the benefits. Yeah,
that's a cheat code.
Yeah.
One of my best friends growing up, his parents worked at American for,
Nice.
I mean, I think they still work there.
Beautiful.
And bro, yeah, he pays taxes to go places.
That's it. It's like $20 that I paid from Rome to here. I paid like $50 to get here, which is a blessing.
I mean, American Express points are a blessing too because they pay for my flights. But I don't know even what taxes you guys are paying because I had to pay taxes on my flight to Dubai, and the taxes for me and my wife were like $3,500.
Yeah, I don't
I'm like, what the hell? What taxes are you paying?
You're like 2 bills, like $200, and that's it.
That's well, good for you.
Thank you.
All right, bro. So you graduated school. You had your drug problems. You got over that. You found faith. You found God.
Sure.
You graduated school. Did you end up becoming a pilot and you end up working as a pilot?
So at 18, I got this job at IBC Airways. So I went to IBC Airways. Basically, it was a great company. They basically work you like a dog. And they work you 14-hour days, pretty much 5-6 days a week. And you would basically fly out of Miami Airport and you go to Jamaica. You would go to Grand Cayman, all the island hopping. And the planes were in the best shape, you know. So sometimes things happen. You just, keep going. Now, I was there for about 1.5 years, and I ended up leaving there. I went to Houston because I was like, I'm done flying this. I kind of left. First of all, just to kind of say it, flying was never really for me. It was more of a financial stability type of thing.
Right.
So every time I left flying, I turned out broke. So I just went back to flying.
Got it.
So then...
So you didn't like it?
No, never.
What did you not like about it?
It might sound stubborn, but I don't like people telling me what to do, and I don't like structure. I like giving myself structure. I love my routine. I love having, my certain things to do throughout the day, but when someone else tells me to do it, it just doesn't sit right with me.
No wonder you love insurance.
It doesn't sit right with me.
All right, cool. All right, how long have you been in insurance? Let's kind of get into that.
Since I was just looking at my phone. I think I sold my first deal September. So I started my contracts
So
like 2 months prior.
So they call it 7-8 months.
Yeah,
tops.
like 8 months, maybe 9 months max.
What's the most you've made in a month?
15,000.
Okay. What's the most you've produced in production?
Like issue?
Yeah.
I would say like 2 months ago, like 37K issue. Yeah, 37K.
Okay, so you're writing 37, 15 is where it's take home, your best month take home money.
Best home.
Take home. 92% of life insurance agents fail within the first 12 months, and you know that?
I heard that from Dummer, and I'm sure you know Dummer.
Yeah.
He told me about that like a few months ago when we were on the phone, and I was like, that's crazy.
You ask Dummer if he knows me.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah. So 92% fail. A lot of people don't get to make $15,000 in a year.
Yeah.
Obviously, our setup's a lot different. A lot of our agents do get to make, obviously, come from a very similar setup, kind of like same family of agencies.
Yeah.
When you first got in, first of all, how'd you get in? Like I know Justin got you in, but kind of walk me through what stood out to you, and then like how much convincing did it take for you to actually come on board?
For the biggest things, I had no type of discipline. I had no type of structure in my life at that time. I always did like jiu-jitsu and wrestling and Muay Thai growing up. That I always had the ability to have that structure, and I knew what it was, but I didn't have the discipline to maintain that, if that makes sense. So when I met Justin at the cacao ceremony, like I was telling you earlier, I was like, I just heard it. I was like, whatever, kind of threw it away. Once I started flying again and I had to force myself to get the routine, get the structure, get the discipline again to maintain that, then I was like, okay, now let me try this out. I'm locked in right now. If I just lock in for 2 weeks, I know the type of person I am. I could finish it. So I did that. I flew down, took the test, texted him, started training the following week.
Nice.
Yeah.
But what was it? So you told me that he told you he made 10 G's in a week, right?
Yeah, so he made 10 bands in a week. I was like, you're full of shit.
Yeah. Did he prove it to you? Sure, any deposits?
He didn't, but I will be honest, I'm very gullible, so I didn't even ask. I'm super gullible, so I should have asked. But then, again, like we were speaking outside, you're straight. He added me on his close friend stories, so he was post deposits all the time. Be like, hey, you could change your life with this shit, and
eventually it stayed on top of mind.
Very blessed, yeah.
It's like me with ads,
blessed.
bro. I'm like the biggest sucker for a good ad because they just keep retargeting me, and I'm like, bro, I'm a buyer just so you stop. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
It's almost the same concept. All right, cool. So you made the decision, if I understood correctly, because you had 2 weeks basically where you knew that if you locked in, you take the test and pass. All right, fire. From the moment that you passed your test, I know you told me it took you a month or two to get contracted. From the moment that you were ready to sell, that you're like, okay, I can start working leads.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to actually make $1?
My second day, I made a sale.
You made a sale.
My second day, I made a sale.
So some people this comes natural. Some other people obviously take some time.
Yeah.
And was that off a lead? Like
It was off limitless leads.
okay, so it was off a lead. It wasn't like a warm market.
No.
Yeah. Got it. Did you know at that point that this was for you?
Had no idea.
Yeah, so you were still like how, I guess you're pretty sold on it now. Obviously.
I was, this is my shit now. I'm gonna take this shit.
So
as
I
far
guess
as
my
it can
question
go,
is like, at what point were you like, all right, I could do this. Like, this is what I'm gonna do forever.
I would say the second month I made 9,000 of doing it, and I was like, wait, I just made double what I was making as a pilot 2 months in. Okay. I lock in on this and like put my all into it and like apply myself correctly, I could probably make a lot more in the next 2 to 5 years. And that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Got it.
Yeah.
So it was once the money talks,
of course.
obviously.
Yeah, money is everything.
Yeah, I mean, you were doing, it makes sense for you too. You were doing something that you did not necessarily enjoy, but it paid you, so you would just do it.
Yeah.
So I did this. This is interesting. I did a I guess like one of those personality assessments. Like it's meant to be for like I did it with the leadership team. Alex did it. So it tells you how you communicate first and foremost.
Okay.
Like if you want to communicate with me, like you cut the small talk and just ask me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was very like it was good because like as we're there, a couple of the employees that work with us were like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm for sure. No wonder he never answers my call. And I'm like, yeah, that's the second one I don't answer your call because you want to tell me your whole weekend.
Yeah.
And I just want to know what you're talking about so I can get it over with. But the other part of it was also what motivates people.
Yeah.
And it was, and don't quote me on this, and I have a point, I promise. Yeah. It was like economic, power, aesthetics. There was one more, which I can't remember. There's like this bar graph. And like, for example, my economic was like, there's like a line for like I guess what most people are at. And I was there because obviously I think anybody who's in business period cares about money to a certain extent. But in my case, it was more power, which goes back to control. That shit was like off the charts. But there was a couple people in my team, and I guarantee you'll have that, where like economic was like, bro, like it didn't even fit in the paper. Meaning that if they make money, it'll make sense for them. Kind of, and I think you'll fall under that because if you mean to tell me, bro, like I fly a lot, obviously as like you know, just as a consumer, but flying, it's like it takes a physical toll on you.
Pain in the ass.
Like my nails are dry right now because I fucking caught like 8 flights in the last month.
Damn.
You know, like just the dehydration from flying. There's a lot that goes to it that people don't think about. And you were doing that for money. I have no doubt that if we did that assessment with you, like your economic shit would be off.
Because like, bro, like I started flying when throughout that whole entire flying until I got to the airlines, I took a break twice. I was like, I can't do this shit. I quit. Whenever I quit, I would go broke. You know, so when you go broke, you're like, oh shit, I got to go back to what I know. Yeah. So that was the default. The default was like, hey, I'm going to go back to flying. And I'm going to do this until it works, until I figure something else out.
And you say you're 22, 23?
I'm 23, yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, bro, because you went to school here, obviously, like, at least financially speaking, right? I don't, from what you told me, I'm assuming you didn't, like your family just roll off, which is good.
Yeah, very blessed.
So how do you manage to still have that? Because I see a lot of, and A-Rod, he probably attested this because he went to like private school and he has some friends that their family was very well off. How do you manage to be hungry even though that maybe you didn't necessarily like have some of the issues that other people your age who are starving right now like for success had?
Yeah, like I was blessed. You know, I have no doubt I was very blessed. But there were still some times when like bread was low and like maybe I couldn't eat or something like that. So like when it got like that, I felt that hunger and I was like, oh shit, I need to work in order to be able to.
It's like a healthy sense of fear almost.
Yeah, it's like I need to work to be able to get something.
Have you ever been asked this question?
No one's ever asked me this. Yeah, I have no idea what to say. Yeah, but
yes, like, I guarantee you, like if you give this some thought, you'll come up with an answer. You want to know what I think?
Go ahead.
You've always probably had access, maybe not. Like everything in life has ups and downs, right? I mean, and like you're I listen a lot to Alex Ramosi, and like your floor keeps getting higher by the skills, right? So now you know how to sell insurance.
Exactly.
Your worst case scenario is not what your worst case scenario was before.
Exactly. Yeah.
When you got your pilot license, your worst case, which kept happening, was going back to a plane.
Yeah.
But when you get used to nice things and you know that standard of like living good. That's what you want, and what I would assume, right? Because it's not my case. Is you want to live a good life?
Exactly.
I'm assuming you like nice things.
100%.
Yeah, and now you are like, okay, I'm an adult, and as a man, whatever you want to call it, you want to figure your shit out.
I want a family. I want a kid.
Yeah,
one day,
so I think it's part of that, and definitely the healthy sense of fear.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I think healthy stress, healthy fear. I believe in all of that. Yeah, I don't think that we are as human beings meant to not be stressed.
Also, I don't think anybody wants to be broke. You know what I mean? Like, like being broke.
Yeah, but some people are comfortable with it. So it's almost like the flip side of the coin, right? Like, why are broke people always broke? Like, because you would tell me, I can see how somebody, and you've probably seen this video, I don't know if you have, of like, my grandfather walked, the next one rode a bike, then and then my grandkid's gonna be broke. Because whatever, the video that talks about that. But if you don't have money, you would assume that you want to do whatever the fuck is in your power to have money.
Exactly, yeah.
But for whatever reason, people are comfortable not having money, which is insane to me. It's mind blowing, but whatever. Not me. I want to live good. Back to insurance. My bad. So, I hear that you've been traveling. Was that part of the idea once you started making money? I want to travel and sell insurance from everywhere. When
I was 18, I was like, I don't know how. I have this written down in my notes. I could show you after too. I was like, when I somehow, some way, in the next 3 to 5 years, I'm gonna travel the world. I'm gonna work for my laptop, and I'm gonna make money. I don't know how. But I was like, I'm going to do it somehow, some way. Okay. So I always knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know how it was going to happen.
Got it.
You know? Does that kind of make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
You manifested it.
Bro, 100%.
Yeah. You believe in that?
I used to have this group chat with one of my best friends. I'm getting like emotional right now because like everything that I said I was going to do like 2 years ago, I'm doing it, and I have more plans that I also want to do in my life. Okay. So like we used to like send voice memos to each other at like 6 a.m. We used to wake up every single morning to basically map out our dream life, dream day, right? And like a lot of the stuff that I do now, I used to talk about doing like 2 years ago. And sometimes I just get in awe because I look and I'm like, wait, this is my life now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a blessing.
Yeah, manifestation is big. I think the problem with manifestation, and I'm the same thing. Like everything that's ever happened to me, and I think any successful person will probably tell you the same thing. Yeah. Like you don't know how, but you know you're gonna have that. You know, exactly. I think the key is, and you for sure done that, is backing it with work. And the work ethic and dealing with the bullshit that comes with it, and obviously not quitting. But Stope, so you wanted to travel the world. Where have you been?
So in February, I was in Colombia, in Medellin. It was fire. It was a vibe. It was a good time. So I was in there for a month, and then after that, like I ended up going to Europe, and I was like, I donated like all my shit. I had a whole like book bags, shoes, like force. I had everything. I was like, I donated all my shit to the to like the front people of the hotel at the Airbnb. It was like a hotel thing. And I donated to them. I got a backpack, and I was like, I'm gonna backpack Europe for the next month.
Why would you do that?
I was
just
like,
want to live that strange.
I was like, yo, like fuck it, because I'm like, I'm not gonna carry this shit with me, you know. And like realistically, I can always get this stuff again later.
And you kept the expensive shit in the backpack. You give away the rest.
Exactly. So I was like, I can get this shit later. So I ended up going to Europe. I was in Madrid. I was in Barcelona. I was in Valencia, Benidorm, which is like some beach town, and then I ended in Rome. And then I came back here for like the last week or two, and then I'm headed to Asia next month. Sorry, in like 5 days.
And were you like taking calls while you're doing this? Like,
yeah, I was working.
How do you manage? Because look, I travel a lot, and mostly for business. But I guess at this point in my life, like it's a little bit different. Yeah. And I do work when I'm on business now, but when I try traveling to like sell insurance. Like, And bro, I was never able to like.
I'll keep it a buck. It's hard.
Yeah, it's really. I mean,
really hard,
I
yeah.
failed miserably at trying to take a vacation and sell during the vacation because it wasn't like I took a trip to travel. Mine was more like I have a trip, but I still need to sell.
Exactly.
So I'll, I'll make a few calls and take a few appointments.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. As soon as I got to fucking Puerto Rico, I'm like, that computer stayed in the bag. I never came out again. How do you manage to find the discipline to and the time to actually do that when you're like in a fucking brand new country, which 22-year-old with some money in your pocket? I'm assuming you're single if you're doing all this traveling.
Yeah, I'm single.
And there's a lot of
sure,
shit for you to do in a country like that.
It's hard, dog. So like I would say routine, and like Justin can even tell you my numbers dropped this month.
Okay.
I was at 10K in submit like 2 weeks ago. 10K. I just finished a month at like 49,000 in submit, which I'm super grateful for. I like locked in the last 2 weeks and I wrote some good business. So like, but I would say routine. When I was in Colombia, I was really on the routine. I don't think my numbers dropped at all. But when there's a time difference, it's difficult. But just trying to stay on the routine and allocating certain time blocks to go explore. Like for example, in Europe, my morning time block was to explore from 8 a.m. to like 1 p.m., go explore. 1 p.m. to 1 a.m., lock in, go to sleep, wake up, gym, do it all again.
Do you take like energy drinks?
I run off Red Bull sometimes, yeah. For like
Yeah,
days
because
at a
there's
time.
no way, like...
Yeah, I run off
Yeah,
Red Bull
that's
sometimes.
rough, bro, yeah. Okay. What was the feeling, because you closed deals, obviously, being a rider, you've been selling. How gangster did it feel to like close it, like your first deal? That's gotta be like...
I just felt blessed, like I felt super grateful that like I was able to travel and still be able to, the ability to make bread, like...
Okay.
I've been wanting to do this for like the last few years now, and just felt very grateful, honestly.
You're one of the few people in the world that gets to do this. Even though you see them all on Instagram, what you see is a minority of like the workforce on planet Earth. You know what I mean? Like, I do think that what you do is very super cool, but very attractive to folks that want to get into the business and work. I do think that it does take a special type of discipline. Absolutely, your motivator has got to be money, like on that sheet that I told you.
100%.
Because since mine's never been money, which is probably part of the reason why I would put that in like, fuck it, I'll sell when I get back. But obviously, you need to make your money to be able to continue to travel.
100%.
So that's good. You probably should take that assessment. You too, Justin. Because I'm telling you, it's going to help you like understand yourself.
If you send it to me, I'll do it today. Yeah, I love that.
It was life changing to me, at least for my business. And I don't say life changing, but it was business changing for sure. But that time change is rough. I'll tell you that much because I dealt with it not that long ago. So
Colombia was chilling, but Europe
was
was
behind. Yeah, well,
horrible.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
So Colombia's, Colombia, bro.
It was Red Bulls and coffees.
I was in Colombia recently. So how about Asia? What's the time difference there? Where are you going first of all in Asia?
So first up is Bangkok. Okay. For a month, I got a B&B out there. And then the schedule is I had ChatGPT kind of put together. ChatGPT is my everything. Like, it builds my whole entire life.
You and I both, right?
So I put it into ChatGPT. I was like, hey, look, gave it the full like rundown, the explanation. And then I was like, make a schedule for me because I want to still go to the gym. I want to still explore. I still want to, do all these things. So the reason I'm going there for a month is so that I could take off on Saturday and I can go explore. Because during the week, I want to be locked in on work. Like I want to be dialed and like I still have goals to hit this year, So basically working from 6 p.m. to about 10 a.m.
You ever taken Adderall before?
Yeah, I have.
I am a huge advocate for prescribed medication.
Yeah, I have when I was younger.
With the proper reason.
Of course.
Make sure you take that shit when you're there. There's no way on planet. I don't give a fuck how energetic you are.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm asleep during the day, so it's like I like that better because then it's 12 hours,
Okay,
so.
But how do you manage? And they're gonna be questioning this shit because I'm
sorry. No, for sure.
Yeah, bro. I can't sleep during the day.
For real?
Well, then fuck it. Don't take Adderall, but take a bunch of melatonin when it's time to go to sleep, dog. But you gotta take something to go because it's tough. I mean, but. Again, I think your motivator being money, which at this point I'm certain that that's what it is. It's gonna push you. I know you'll do it because if not, you'll just come back. Because I don't think
I'm coming back in July.
I'm almost sure that if you go there and then you don't manage to pull it off because let's say you can't sleep or whatever, you won't stay.
I'll be back in a heartbeat.
You'll care for making money over like being in Bangkok, which sounds really fucking dope. I have to go to Thailand in November. You just had a fucking crazy earthquake too. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I think like 100 or 1,000.
I saw it collapse. That's all I saw. I heard that it was in the construction, but whatever.
Yeah.
God bless him, but that shit scares me. But I'm still going in November to a wedding.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. But yeah, that's crazy. You're gonna work 6 p.m. their time to 6 a.m.
That's the time the dollars work.
No, I feel you. It's the time that it's business here. You gotta do what you gotta do.
So.
Yeah, I know another guy that I know a couple guys that have gone to like Asia. A lot of them are. You've done jiu-jitsu before, which yeah. But a lot of them are into martial arts.
Yeah. I came with it. It's been my dreams. I was like 13 and go out there and train.
That's dope.
So it's gonna be sick.
All right.
I'm excited.
Cool beans. All right. turn the page. Talk to me about building 18 because you mentioned to me you want to build 18. Have you started recruiting already?
I have 5 downlines right now, and you know how it goes. I'm talking to 1 million people about them taking their test, but you know they do it. There's not gonna. It's like back and forth. But whenever they like, I have like one person scheduled to take their test next week, and hopefully start this week. Hopefully start his training next week.
Okay. How do you position the opportunity to people? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, pitch me on why I should work with you.
I'm like, I just talked to my boy. I'm like, yo, look, and I recruit my friends a lot.
100%. That's where you should start.
You know?
But like, yeah, why should people get into insurance? I guess is my question. Tell me what
I'm like, look,
about
bro, like, what are you doing right now? And if they tell me they're they're valet, they're trying to become a DJ, they're trying to like, you know, they're working as a plumber. Like this one dude's working as a plumber, cool ass dude, like, and he makes like $5,000 a month, which is fire. And I was like, bro, like we can help you make more if you want. And like he hit me up through a mutual of mine, cause my friends like they know like I'm super tight with my friend group, so like they're like, oh yo, they know I'm recruiting, so I tell them, yo, if you know anyone that needs like an extra job or trying to work part-time, trying to make some extra bread, like let me know, because I'd be more than happy to put them down. And that's kind of how I go about it.
You're gonna get even the friends that you have right now, as long as you keep the person you have. The ones that are you're telling like, yo, if you know anybody, they're looking at you, bro, and they're gonna work with you.
It's a blessing.
They will work with you. The ones that you think like, no, but he's good because he went to school for this, or he's got that, or he's got this. Trust me.
Are you telling me from personal experience?
I absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
If that wasn't the case, you wouldn't be here.
Word.
It's kind of the way this works. Justin can attest.
I agree.
It does take, I will tell you, for that level of like the more successful friend, you've got to do this longer.
I agree.
This is one I'm going to give you the advice, right? You got to do it longer, and you've got to show growth, right? And we could talk about it. So just like yes, I was recruiting all my friends, and Jose has been my friend for like fucking like 20 years.
It's fire.
So I would try to recruit Jose, but Jose is a district manager making fucking $180,000 a year. He was making really good money. He was making more money than me. But I'm like, but I knew, because you kind of know, like, yo, trust me, like we can fucking get rich here. Yeah, I know what I'm telling you, but it's just you saying it. Yeah. And bro, I started in 2020. I won't forget. I have the picture of the class. I helped a lady called Georgina Dwyer. So remember, I'm weird with names like that. Lady, I helped her with mortgage protection, and fucking, she was out of Georgia. And Jose was coming to my house that day. And we weren't even chilling like that, but I don't even know why he was coming to my crib. He was just coming to my house. And I had a Zoom call with the client, and he walked in, and I was just like, yo, just sit there and shut the hell up, don't talk. And he'll attest to the story. I closed the lady, like a $2,400 deal. And I'm like, I just made like, my comp was already high because we were already doing like $500-$600 a month at that time. For sure. And I closed it. He's like, what do you mean? That's how easy that is? And he's like, yeah. So that was like, I still didn't get him right away. Yeah. But like, that's when he was like, okay, maybe there's something there. He told me he was down at that moment, but then the whole study for the license, all that shit. Of course. And then fast forward, one day we went to eat right here in Texas and Brazil. And bro, I just fucking, what Justin was about to do with you at some point, if you didn't commit, I just pulled out my bank statement. Like on my phone, I downloaded. You know how you could get your PDF, and I just slipped my phone across. I had deposited like the last 3 months. I had deposited like 56, 55. That's fire. I was like 50 G's each month. Fire. I had also spent like 54. but the point is, I was making the money. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course. And that's when like I saw his eyes get big, and I'm like, bro, okay, now I'm actually fucking like 3 years ago when I started, I was just making money to get by. I'm fucking getting paid. Yeah. And that's how like all this shit was born. I wouldn't be scared or like respectful of like, you might have boys that are doing well, whatever the fuck they do, or or you just might think they're not a good fit for whatever reason. Yeah, I recruit all of them. Because at the end of the day, in your age group, unless you have like this crazy, like, I don't know, they inherited a family business that's been around for fucking 100 years, obviously. Anything else anybody started as a young adult does not have the ceiling with the little amount of capital you need to start in insurance. Yeah. Because I'm not going to say that we're the only business with a high ceiling. We're not. But we are, for sure, the only business where you don't have to have hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars in capital to actually build it. Because I started this shit with fucking, not even negative 30 grand. You know what I mean? So and I've made millions in 5 years. Like, I was doing the math the other day. I don't have it yet, but I'm going to tell you exactly how much I made in at least gross. But you could start the shit from zero. You know what I mean? And I know you know that because you're doing it now. And which is why I would not just stop to like telling your boys like, yo, if you know anybody, I'll be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Yeah. Like, let's just call it what it is. Which one of you has made $15,000 in a month? Yeah. Vast majority are probably gonna tell you none of them. Some of them might be, and even then, I still find an argument why insurance is better. And the reason I'm telling you this is because out of that's where you'll find like the really top dogs you want. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been big on like, I don't want to recruit bottom feeders. You know, and I don't say that like disrespectfully.
Yeah.
I mean, people that are just not there yet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to recruit fucking quality people, you know, because I just have to work.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have to chase people down. The problem with recruiting quality people is that you've got to have a shit ton of social proof, of real proof.
Yeah.
You know, not just social, but actual proof. And the only thing you have going against you right now is you've only been doing this for 7-8 months.
Yeah.
And you hit 2 years, like. But then what you do right now is that, you know what I would do if I was you? I mean, hey, Justin, come here. You go, because you've been doing this for fucking 3 years now.
I do that shit all the time.
That's what you need to do,
I
bro. That's got to be like your best friend and like
That shit
recruiting
all
of
the
all
time.
time, bro. Because Justin shows up with. Which, by the way, do you dress like based on the occasion, like the vibe? I do that too a lot, so I'm not even going to judge that. To answer your question, like when I started Level Up, I actually don't know when I started Level Up.
Okay.
Even when you went to the bathroom, bro, I really don't know the answer to that
Yeah.
question. But the way that today I continue to grow is I'm always trying to get ahead of like everybody that's under me, because it's the only way they'll continue to grow. Because you're only going to be as good as the people above you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'll take 2 hours walking you through my self development.
I'd love to another time.
My self development fucking journey. But that's, now that you're recruiting, that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
You got to be the best freaking rider and best recruiter there is.
Mm-hmm.
Not for your own pocket, obviously that's important, but because the guys that you're bringing on board are looking up to you. You could show them. Justin will close the deal for you. He'll get them in, dog. But at the end of the day, they can't because of you. You know, the money that Justin's made, the host has made, that anybody in your office has made is irrelevant to them. They are looking at you. Yeah. So yeah, you got a big responsibility. Make sure you don't take it for granted, because with big responsibility comes big burnings too. Mm. But it's fire though, because obviously you get to grow and make money, and there's nothing like human capital, which sounds really fucked up, but that like you'll open up so many doors if you build a big team.
I think the coolest thing that like I'm enjoying about it so far is like seeing the growth in the people. Yeah. Like day one, they don't know any rebuttals. They don't know shit. And then by like, you know, day 3 or day 4, next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they're like spitting out the script. They're like throwing rebuttals. They're putting their own sauce on it. So it's cool to see like the growth in them as well.
Let's get a little bit technical before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Because I think we are going to go to 45 minutes. I don't know how long we've been, but so you wrote 37K in your best month. Yeah. You've been traveling. You still managed to write. Yeah. Walk me through the mindset that it takes to get on the phone, because you make calls on if you have appointment setters, but even then you're on the phone all day. You deal with rejection 100%. Constantly. Yeah. So what do you think is, I guess, the number one character trait that you have that allows you to succeed at selling insurance specifically?
Work ethic.
Okay.
I think.
Elaborate. Yeah.
I just don't give a fuck. Like, I tell this to the team when I'm training them too. Like, yo, when you call someone, don't call them once. Call them 30 fucking times. Like, it doesn't matter if they pick up or not. Okay. Call them, blow them up, because their lead is on your sheet for a reason. Okay. They wanted the information. Now, when you call them, they might not pick up, but you keep blowing them up, following up, and like, I'm very structured. Like, I know I told you earlier, I don't like to tell people, like, to tell me what to do, but I'm a very structured individual, and I love my routine. Yeah. So that plays a big factor. Like, my dial schedule from 11 to 2, new leads, 2 to 3 lunch, 4 to 6, missed appointments, 6 to 8, age leads, or just dial your ass off till 9.
So it's work ethic and structure.
100%.
That's what I got from it.
100%.
Yeah. And walk me through that schedule one more time. So that's cool, and I want you to like emphasize on that part, because people will take value from that.
100%. So 11 to 2, new leads. So any new leads that come in, and then 2 to 3 I break for lunch. 3 to 4 I dial new leads still typically. 4 to 6 I dial all missed appointments. 6 to 8 or 9 I just dial
your old leads. Sometimes, like, because I have old final expense leads, I have old mortgage leads, like stuff like that. I just dial. Do you use like a dialer? I
have a dialer. I just got one like last week, and it's been a great help. Like 2 weeks ago.
Like a person, you mean?
Oh yeah, like a person.
I meant like a system though. Okay, but besides the person, like when are you dialing from your phone, or are you using like a software?
Personally, I dial from Go High Level, and then recently, the last like few weeks that I've been traveling more. But like I love hand dialing because I do it quick. I do like $500, $600 a day.
With who? With Go High Level?
No, with my phone.
Got it.
Yeah, like
where you like physically dial.
Bro,
So when you say new leads, is it the leads that came in like the night before?
The night before, like the last week or two. Like just fresh leads, like all morning. Like, I watched this video. John Wetmore, that's the guy, right? The balder guy. Yeah. So I was watching his video and he had like So I watched his video and he had like a dial strategy where like you dial, like for example, that's like 20, 30 leads. You dial them once, you dial them double dial, triple dial, whatever you want to do, and then you dial them again. You dial them again. Okay, cool. That's it. Put him to the side.
I fuck with his content and with him, period. Because,
he's fire.
Because he's about like the dirty work that this takes. You know what I mean? He doesn't sugarcoat
I really
it.
Fuck with him.
But he also says it like in a really cool way too. Yeah. For sure. There's a statistic, bro. If you contact a lead within 60 seconds of it coming in, you're 391% more likely to close that deal.
Interesting. I know that.
I do think I've heard that too. How many times people got to see you before they become a client, like, or they hear from you. But there is 60 seconds, and this is, I got this from Alex Ramosi. I went to his workshop in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And obviously they've tested this shit through like a bunch of companies, and we've started implementing it here, trying our best to call leads as soon as they come in, and we've seen an increase in closing those deals. But just for thought, if you do see a lead come in real time, I know you're gonna deliver, but I will call it right away. Even if it's that's the only time that I would advise you to do something. It's not even different, it's the same shit. But yeah, it is. You're 391% more likely, and I think if you set like a same day appointment, like it's still like a 2-to-1 chance of you closing it. That if you do it for the next day, and so on and so forth. So all right, so you want to recruit insurance agents. I am sure that there's a million 22-year-olds that want to do what you want to do.
I love that.
All right, let me ask you a question now.
Go ahead.
There's also a million potential uplines out there.
Yeah.
Right. And if you don't recruit them, your friends will. It's kind of the way that always works. Why would somebody choose you as somebody to partner with to work?
100%, because I give my all to everything I do. Like anything I do, I give my heart and soul to it. Like insurance, I still have a lot to learn. Like I have a lot to learn. I'm only 8 months in, but I feel like the only reason I've had the little, maybe scratching the surface type of money that I've touched or like success that I've had is just because I give it my everything. You know, I give my heart and soul. So that goes the same for recruiting. Like we have like a group chat, texting every single morning. Hey, anybody wants a role play? It's active people. It's not a part of it. It's like limitless group chat, but then we have a separate one just for my team.
Yeah, you mean.
And texting them like, hey, we do weekly role plays. We basically help each other out. If anyone needs specific help with anything, someone said last week they wanted rebuttal training. Says, okay, cool. Let's meet at 7 p.m. Let's do rebuttal training. You want anything else? All right, cool. And we specifically cater, me and Justin help out with everything we do. So like you have me who's only been here 8 months. You know, I could help with what I can, but I'll be honest, like I'm still learning. So when I don't, we have Justin, who's been in the business 2 years.
Right.
You know, and there's a lot of other resources too with the leads and everything as well.
Good answer.
Appreciate it.
Because it was very genuine and authentic. It wasn't scripted. Dude, one advice, this is the last question.
Please.
One advice to a new agent that left a career job. That's you. Yeah. Whether you hated it or loved it, that was your career job that paid your bills and probably paid you well because it's a higher like tier job. What would one advice be to somebody who quit their job, got into insurance, is starting now? If you could give them one advice, what would that be?
Don't be lazy and don't be afraid to work. And if you're going to do it, give it your all and be okay with failure. Because failure happens every day.
All right.
You feel me? That's what I tell myself at least. And I feel like that would be solid advice that I would want someone to tell me as well.
If you keep up this mindset, because the work ethic, that's what I mean. Because the skills you develop, the business like wisdom, and all, you'll get that as you go along. But you keep this mindset up and you don't quit.
Yes, sir.
In 36 months, in 3 years, you'll be a millionaire.
I sure hope so.
Like a millionaire. Like I'm telling you, you'll be a millionaire.
Appreciate
with this, but you gotta have this intensity, this mindset, and just know that you're at some point you're gonna hit some sort of wall. But that's just like that just means that you hit the ceiling at the current level, and then you gotta figure out how to get to the next level. That's all that means.
Appreciate you.
Because we all hit the walls at every level that I've gone through, which I'm only like one or two. Like I'm like you're not that far behind any of us here.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit a wall. Don't quit, but you will be a millionaire in 3 years if you just keep your head down and you keep the same energy.
Appreciate you.
Well, thank you for taking the time, dude. Your energy is great, bro. I think you're gonna do big things. I mean, what I just said.
Thank you very much.
Because, and I'll tell you the number one thing that I see from you is, you said it a few times, but you generally do not care what you have to do. You're just gonna do it, and it's really hard to remove emotion from the business. And I'm assuming you at some point you have emotional windows, but like your approach is very emotionless, and that's obviously the start. So keep it up, bro.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for coming on, dude.